Hi, I'm Matt Wenning at winningstrength.com, and today we're going to go over resistance band training at home or on travel. The nice thing about a resistance band is you can do a ton of stuff with it and you don't need any other equipment. So let's get to it and show you some exercises. All right, so the first exercise is a banded good morning. Now, when you guys are doing this, make sure your shirt goes on the back of your neck, almost like a Beavis and Butthead style, to where you don't get this, because this band will tear up your skin. So we're going to get there, and then you can do it a ton of different ways. You can either cross your arms or you can hold the band, either way you want. Now what he's going to do is he's going to lean over, keeping his legs pretty straight, and he's going to stand up. Good. Now, depending on which band you got, depending on how difficult this is. But this is a great exercise for low back, glutes, and hamstrings, and posture. So as you can see, when he's leaning over, he's not bending in his thoracic spine one iota. And that's important to putting it in the hips and the hamstrings. So this is one of my top exercises for using for a band. Now he can go wider and do it sumo, which is going to create more tension, and also hit a little bit more medial hamstring. That's good. So the next exercise is just a laying press. You don't need a bench press for it. You can do it on the ground, in your bedroom, on your bed, on these foam blocks, whatever. But this is a bench press. So what he's going to do is he's going to lock it out. He's going to straighten it down until his elbows touch the thing. It's a great exercise for triceps. Works a little bit of pec and a little bit of shoulder. The trick is when you're doing this, you want to try to keep your shoulder blades pinched back. Keep your chest rolled high. That's perfect. So you can see the first way he was doing it, he was leaving his shoulders lax. And then the second way he was doing it is the way you actually want to have it done. Now, if you want to hit a little bit more pec, you actually need to unlock your shoulder blades to do so. So there is going to hit more pec, and then with the shoulder blades back, it's going to hit more arm. But it's a great way to switch up the exercise. Just make sure you're doing it this way more often. Now, the other thing you can do is he can change his hand pitch. That's going to change some muscle recruitment. Another great exercise. The next exercise is just a band pullover. So we've got it hooked up to something high. Now he's going to do a pullover. This is really good for the serratus muscles and the lats right in here. Develop that nice V shape, but it's also awesome for posture. So he's doing this one leaned over, which there's other variations to do, but this is my favorite. This is really going to build up that lat area and that area around the serratus and the rib cage. So now the next thing he can do is stand straight up, and now he can do a row. Now where he pulls this row is dependent upon which way and which things he wants to hit. So if he goes super low, he's going to hit the lower lat attachment. If he goes in the middle, he's going to hit a little bit more lat rhomboid area. And if he goes high, he's going to hit a little bit more rear delt and trap. So depending on which way you want to work, which way's right? None of them. All of them are right. So the trick is don't do just one of them, do multiple ones. Now, in certain sets, you can change it 1, 2, 3, or you could just pick one for that day. It's just the next time you do this exercise, change the pitch and where you're pulling that band. The next exercise is just a tricep extension overhead. So now he's just going to straighten his arms and bend them back. Now, if he wants to make this more difficult because he doesn't have a lot of bands, he can either walk more forward or he can do it with one arm. Now he's just doubled the amount of tension that one arm has to do. So if you're a super strong guy and you only have a couple of bands at home because you weren't prepared to be in quarantine or whatever, this is a great way. Switch everything to isolateral and you get double the amount of tension. The next exercise is just your basic upright row. So he's going to pull that to his chin. He's going to focus on this lateral delt. I am not a massive fan of upright rows. I think that they can cause some shoulder issues if you're not damaged or not balanced. But at the end of the day, variety is good for most cases. Just don't have these in a ton. Don't use a lot of speed, use a lot of tempo, go slow and smooth. But this is a great exercise to build that shoulder cup to make you look wider, give you that more athletic look in the shoulder. And it's also going to secondarily hit your brachialis muscles, which is right here, giving you that big forearm chunk right up the top here that he doesn't have. Ooh. Ooh. All right, good on that one. Okay, so the next exercise is one we've had in other videos, but we get a lot of questions on, if I don't have a reverse hyper, how do I perform a reverse hyper movement? And the answer is this. Now, this is how you can do a style of a reverse hyper without actually having the machine. And if you use enough band tension on this, this is no joke. So make sure, the other problem is if this was a really heavy band tension and Harvey was really strong, then you'd have to have a partner or something to put on your stomach in order for you to be able to do this with heavier weights without raising up your butt. So if you have a partner but you don't have a reverse hyper, you can do this heavier with more band tension if you have somebody standing on your waist. So there's a lot of things, as you saw, we can do with bands, and there's way more exercises than we can do than that. But those are some key ones that I would use at home if I didn't have a lot of equipment, or all if I had access to was bands. So just train with them smart. Train the muscles that you're weak at, and make sure you use them in all kinds of different ways in order for you to get better. What the hell?
Yeah.